All right, the players are both in the lobby. Let's get this started. Rw9 versus TempoH. It's not the match that we expected for round 2. Everybody was thinking it's going to be Diaz moving on to face Rw9 in the upper semi-final, but TempoH has taken down Diaz in 5. And he did it in impressive fashion as well. Some huge mechanical goals down the stretch in that last game. And some big time saves as well to get 2-goal swings. The Diaz rattled, sent to the lower bracket, and his mission to win both salt mines has hit a little bit of a road bump there. We'll see later on if Diaz can make the run through that lower bracket. If he can win 2 straight in the lower bracket, then we'll be casting his next match on my channel. That would be the lower semi. But yeah, he needs to win 4 best-of-5s in a row if he's going to make it to the Salt Mine EU main event, Salt Mine 4 EU main event today. It was ATR, Arm the Rebels, these two played. So TempoH, Danish player, he plays Dominus with a hat on. That's how you know who he is. He's, I think, the highest rated Dominus 1s player. Or Dominus main in EU, maybe even in the world. And he does play with a cap all the time. And he's also made a bunch of RLCS main events in the past year. He played, didn't he play for Fast Forward, or am I getting that confused with someone else? I think he played for Fast Forward, didn't he? I'm going to look him up on my other monitor again, just make sure I'm not lying to you guys. Oh, no, I am lying. It was Wild. And he beat Carmine Corp once, that's right. So yeah, TempoH, he's a 17-year-old player from Denmark. He's got a really cool name. His name in the, well, it says Wikipedia. Sorry if I say this wrong. Christian Fabricius Mortensen. It's a really cool name. And yeah, his RLCS results for the past year were mostly making main events. Famously beat KC once in, was it a qualifier that they beat KC? Or was that a main event? And now he's going to try and take down Rw9. Rw9 gives him a nice one for the double tap. It's actually a really good shot. Look at TempoH's boost management on that play. If you want to take a look, just go back in the replay, look underneath his name. We do have 2 places to see the boost in this overlay. You can look underneath the name of the player at the top of the screen, or you can look in the bottom right to see both players boost at the same time. On replays, you need to look up at the top of the screen. Rw9 catches him out of position with a 4th goal off the kickoff. TempoH did not have time to go for that mid boost. He thought he did. Yeah, you can expect to see some pretty cool goals out of TempoH. I mentioned earlier on in the Rw9 Proposa match that, yeah, TempoH, I've seen him a bunch against apparently Jack in Jack's 1v1 ranked videos. TempoH's always a very high-rated player, and he's a tough player to read. I know he does give Jack some problems sometimes. Oh, he's tripped on the post. That's unfortunate for TempoH. He got stuck on the post. This is such a horrible feeling when this happens, because the only thing you can do in that position is jump or flip. You can't do both, because since you've got 2 wheels off the ground, you literally only have 1 jump input left. You can't jump and then flip. So neither a jump or a flip would have gotten to the ball there, and he knew that. But yeah, you also can't drive because your wheels are off the ground. Tough position. Kamu, thanks for the 20-month tier 1, by the way. Welcome back to the channel. And Lewis Niels, thanks for the 10-month prime. Welcome back to you also. High scoring first 2 minutes here. Rw9 already up to 6. TempoH playing extremely aggressively after a lot of kickoffs where he lands on low boost. Could have been a tough overhead read there for Rw9, but he makes it look relatively easy. Again, TempoH sticking around aggressively. And this time, he does have boost to do so. You know, you can stick around aggressively like that when you've got boost, of course. A bit more risky to do that when you don't have boost. TempoH gets the boost in the back corner there, away from Rw9, but Rw9 still manages to sneak a long shot into the back of the net. It just trickles in. by a fraction. You can see a little bit of frustration there from Tempo as the ball went into his net across the pitch. Far from ideal scenario there. Tempo does get one back though. You can see it's a very chaotic playstyle Tempo's got. Rw9 tries to deflect that ball, couldn't get there in time. Now, if you missed the match earlier on in my stream today between Rw9 and Proposa, you will have missed Rw9 switching decal or car after every game. He did win that series 3-1, but he still switched car and decal a bunch. He was not comfortable, he wasn't playing well, or he felt like he's playing too well. Either that or he just wanted to flex all of his different cool car designs. But I'm guessing he didn't feel 100% in the lobby because he switched presets so much. And I don't think he even used this one. If he did, it would have been only one game. So he's still switching about. Did not finish the previous series in this decal that he's currently using. Maybe he's found the one though, as he's now 5 goals up on Tempo. And of course, Rw9 is the heavy favorite in this match, but Tempo's a tricky opponent. He's a player who's got a couple of impressive wins on his record. And he's been extremely consistent in ranked. He's been extremely consistent, making deep runs in ATR Cup quals, Salt Mine quals as well. But you have to think he's probably not too far away from forfeiting this game as the scoreline starts to slow down its growth. It was rising rapidly earlier on, now not so much. Rw9 double off his own backboard, misses it. Tempo has to score here if he wants to start a serious comeback. Rw9 fake challenge does get Tempo to bite. Again, his boost management is good enough to get more shots on target, but Rw9, the expert of defensive 50s after jumping off his own back wall. A lot of players go too high on the 50s when they jump off their back wall. Rw9 is not one of them, and he's up by 6 now. No forfeit. I don't think we're going to see a forfeit from Tempo at all if he's not forfeited here. But yeah, a lot to improve on in Game 2 if Tempo's going to have a chance of beating Rw9. Rw9 has been too strong, and he is getting better and better the more we see him today. I've already equated this run of Rw9 to the run that Daniel made in North American Salt Mine 4 Qual 2, where he just tried to get closer and closer to his highest level as the qualifier progressed, and he did eventually qualify. That's what Rw9 is going for today. I think Tempo will already be quite happy to just be in a match in the upper semi, but now that you're here, you might as well win it. Not going to win Game 1 though. Rw9 far too strong and does ground the ball first try to confirm the win. So remember guys, if you do want to play in the last qualifier for Salt Mine 4 Europe, you're going to need to sign up a day early and play a day early. Next week is going to be running on Wednesday and Thursday instead of Thursday, Friday like usual. That's Wednesday the 20th, Thursday the 21st of November. So do sign up on the 19th, or by the 19th, the Tuesday, if you want to play !Smiv in Twitch chat, or scroll down to the YouTube description if you're interested in playing. Totally free, directly supports the event, and increases the likelihood of another one happening in the future. Johnny, I signed up and I played Wavy, and it was the first time I played a pro. There you go. We've had a lot of players saying this kind of thing in Salt Mine Quals especially, because everybody's got to qualify to Salt Mine. There are no invites at all. So we've had a lot of players running into pros, getting a chance to play against a player that they've either watched on stream or watched a tournament or just heard about through RLCS or other top tier competitions. So yeah, definitely give it a go. You never know who you're going to run into. North America is still going to be on the same days though. If you do want to play in the Salt Mine 4 Qual, the final one for North America is going to be the usual Thursday single elimination open bracket Friday, which is the day 2 stream. Just like today, just like every other one before it. Tempo's got to be careful here. Rw9 is all over him with the pre-flip shot. Does go out of the net. Just realized that the players' nameplates are hidden. Let me get those back. There we go. Well shot by Tempo. Surely putting him in front. No, it's off the post twice. Rw9 also hits it off the post. The Tempo with a big flick in reverse. You can see that he was trying to set that one up as soon as Rw9 attacked him. Boost seal comes through. Rw9 flick still good. That's going to set him a boost on the other side. Nearly a demo as well. Tempo has escaped it. Why is Rw9 pronounced Rw9? In Arabic, there are a bunch of additional letters that we don't have in the English language. And yeah, aside as on top of the just normal S sound that we have the letter S for, they have a heavier S sound that they need a symbol to represent. And since there is no alternative in the English language, they just use 9 to, yeah, it's kind of like an SS sound. If you see a 9, it's sort of like SS. They just use that to cover that letter that we don't have. And they use other letters as well. You'll have probably seen that Ahmad back in the day had a 4 in his name. That's for an H sound that we don't have. Or no, that's 7, sorry, isn't it? I always get it confused. 7 is kind of like an H, heavy H. 4 is TH. What's the other one? I know there's a... Oh yeah, 2 is an A sound that we don't have, isn't it? Basil uses a 2 in his name. Yeah, that's what that's all about. So after a pretty high-scoring game 1, we've had no goals in half the game in game 2. Rw9 in a dominant position, though. Tempo does really well to get out of it, but he's still not out of the woods yet. This is massively favored for Rw9, and Tempo has overextended, concedes. And look at the time of the clock, looking like a 3v3 game here. 1-0 after almost 3 minutes of gameplay, and it is 1-0 to Rw9. Oh, nice shot by Tempo. Look at the pace change in the approach as he immediately ties the game. Infield dribble from the kickoff. Fakes an aerial shot. Instead, wave dashes to slide the ball low past Rw9, who again opted for the backwall defensive position. Oh, nice play by Rw9. Just a deflecting touch to go the length of the pitch. Playing for the boost steal on the far side of the box. Knows he's got space to turn here. Quick look back, knew, or allowed him to know. Tempo was not chasing him down. Air double bump by Rw9. What a save by Tempo. Sneaking past with that large Dominus hitbox. And then flicks it top bins the other end. Tempo lets rip from the halfway line. To control a Dominus flick like this is super impressive. You don't believe me? If you're an Octane or a Fennec player, try to do that in the Dominus. You're going to send the flick so high a lot of the time compared to where you want it to go. Tempo, an expert when it comes to controlling the often uncontrollable Dominus. Rw9 now off the bar. Tempo circling around, just trying to keep Rw9 at bay here. Rw9 boost management has been better, and he sets up a boost seal at the end of it all. Tough position here for Tempo. Rw9 low 50. Yet another boost seal at the far post. Good small pad pathing here by Tempo. He's actually got more boost than Rw9 might realize, and that's going to allow him to challenge and score. 2-goal advantage by Tempo. Would Tempo be the first Dominus I'd welcome on my team in ranked? Hey, If I got Tempo in my team in ranked, he's pretty good at the game, so I reckon we'd probably win. So I like winning. I'd be okay with it. But Dominus is just a really difficult card to play. You know, longer cars are just harder to play. So most players who are not SSL or Pro are just not good enough to play this car well. And therefore, they, in my opinion, if they want to win, if they're trying to just be good, they should probably pick an easier car. If you're trying to actually win at regular Rocket League, guys, I know longer cars are easier to like freestyle in or whatever, but I'm not talking about freestyling. I'm talking about just like winning in RL. Yeah, I mean, if you have fun in it, go for it. Your teammates are not going to have fun though. They're probably going to hate you because you're flopping around. Miss-hitting every ball, hitting the ball with no power when you're trying to hit power shots, having zero control when you're trying to dribble, and then there doesn't. What's the upside? This is my big problem with the Dominus in ranked when I have a teammate who's playing Dominus. What is the Where's the positives? You know, if there were drawbacks and then there were positives to counteract that, fair enough. But it's just like, all right, my teammate's got no ball control. They've got absolutely no consistency with their power shots or accuracy. And they can't win a 50-50 to save themselves. Can't dribble. It seems like they have lower IQ as well, but that might just be, you know, placebo. But where are the good? What's good? Where are the positives? I feel like there are none. It's not like, oh, but yeah, but at least they're good at insert thing they're good at. There's literally nothing. Tempo's miles out of the game here. Oh, he's just lost a 3-goal lead. That's insane. He was so aggressive here in the back corner. He didn't need to be. And just like that, Tempo has thrown away a lead. Late on in the game, Rw9 played well. Clinical stuff there in the finishing stages of the game. Tempo could shoot this. That might just be it. Oh my goodness. He hit the bar. He actually hit the bar with a boomer from halfway line. Rw9 forced to make a really awkward save. That's a great deflection in the back corner there. Tempo with 3 chances late on in the game. And he might just take it in overtime. Yes, he does. 1-1. Well, Tempo lost the lead that he worked so hard to build. But he dominates the OT kickoff. Rw9 2 side onto the ball. And we are all tied up. Tempo once again proven to be a real challenge for Rw9. Flicks power shots and longer, so higher chance of beating opponent to the ball in a race. Oh, nah, come on now. You're not more likely to beat someone to the ball just because you pick a longer hitbox. It's so insignificant. Such an insignificant component in a race to the ball. The slightly longer hitbox. And when you say that the advantage in flicks, I seriously disagree. Power shots, again, I seriously disagree. In my opinion, Dominus power shots are way less consistent than Octane. Way less. It's not even close. They're way, way, way less consistent. And flicks, I mean, come on now. Fennec and Octane are miles more consistent with flicks. Now, I'm not saying you can't be good at them. Tempo is a good example of a player who is good at flicking the ball in the Dominus. He's good at shooting the ball in the Dominus. He's a good Dominus player. He's a great Dominus player. He's one of the best. But it's a really hard card to play. It just is. It's a very hard card to control the ball in and to aim the ball with. And it's much more awkward. You need to be much more precise to get power with this car as well. That's a phenomenal air dribble by Rw9 to start game 3. Huge acceleration on those last 2 touches, and the placement is absolutely ideal as well. Yeah, Zapato still plays the Sentio, another card that's very hard to play. You have to be just way more precise with those cards. But like I said, if you want to play it, go for it. If it makes you happy, then get stuck in. But me, I always have a sinking feeling when I have a Dominus teammate in ranked because I know that they're just not going to... There's just zero chance they're going to be consistent. It's going to be so hard to read them. I love playing against Dominus players, but I hate playing with them. That kind of goes out the window though when I'm queuing, and it's like, you know, Stumpy plays the Dominus a bunch, and when you play multiple games in a row with the same player who's playing like Dominus or something, that's when you can start to get a read on them. But when you just ranked, you just play one game with someone and then they're gone. Unless you're playing late night and you're high rated, then maybe you get the same guys every game. But yeah, you can kind of get used to players if you queue with someone all the time and they play a weird car. But it just takes longer to get a read on them. Tempo showing some stellar defense here. It really has been a even back and forth between these two. It's not been Rw9 dominating the midfield. It's not been Rw9 forcing Tempo back into his net 24/7. Tempo narrowly missed a touch here that would have probably sent the ball flying. When you take a look at Rw9's POV, look, Tempo's trying to crossbar pinch this, which could really cause the ball to go anywhere. But he misses, and it's an easy finish for Rw9. Josette used a weird car one time, and that car was the Fennec. Exactly. If you can be the best player in the world with a car, then everybody's going to play it. But until somebody just goes and dominates with a new car, no one's going to play the new car. They're just not. So pretty decent kickoff here for Tempo, but his follow-up shot doesn't get him too much to write home about. Perfect takeoff from the wall from Rw9. And the reset and the pre-flip. Well, put the ball well past Tempo's reach. Yeah, Joy on the Mustang, another one that's quite similar to that. True, true. Just going to give you guys a quick update on what's happening elsewhere around the mine at the moment. We've got 1-1s in every single series. Okay, that was quick. Shady Toxic 1-1, Diaz Perposa 1-1, Krabby Mozzarella 1-1. And here also 1-1. It's turned out to be a really, really close day in Salt Mine Day 2. Salt Mine Qual Day 2. Everybody thought it was going to be pretty one-sided with a clear top 4 and maybe get close matches later on. Hasn't been the case. It's been really, really close from the start. Diaz not having an easy time. A huge challenge by Rw9. Tempo completely caught off guard by that one. What a first touch by Rw9 as well. Tempo does get there though. But he's not going to be able to get back to that ball. 5-3, Rw9 building a lead here. Tempo just wanted one more small boost pad. Notice that he pathed over that small boost pad on Rw9's half of the pitch, thinking he could grab it and still make it back. And it just took a little bit too long. Tempo with a chance to come back within one. Flip reset, wave dash, and the finish. Excellent control by Tempo. After realizing Rw9 was high up on the back wall, he took the ball down, way away from Rw9. He's definitely causing Rw9 problems. Rw9, a player who could be so comfortable in net against the vast majority of the Rocket League population, having a tough time stopping Tempo. Tempo's, again, like I said earlier, very hard to read. A bit unconventional player. But it's not just about his car, it's also about his timing. It's about his shot selection. Now Rw9 forced back into his net. Tempo wins possession for himself and 100 boost. Oh, what a challenge by Rw9. So, where did he come from for this one? Tempo thought he had control. But suddenly Rw9 dunks on him, gets the ball into the middle, finishes it off with ease. Double tap Tempo, top ends. He is so confident with his offense. I'm loving the level of respect that Tempo is showing Rw9 today. He's not holding back. He's not thinking, uh-oh, I can't go for this shot because I'm up against Rw9. I better dial it back. No, he's just playing Rw9 like he does any other player. And he's making his shots work. Chance to tie once again. Tempo this time shut down by Rw9's early challenge. Rw9 slow play. No 50 behind that. Tempo will look to pinch it down the line. It doesn't go too far. Rw9 with an air dribble from distance. Half boost as he crosses halfway. And a perfect finish. Rw9 looking to level up his aerial game as well. Improvements every game so far, every series. Rw9 just looking a little bit more like the Rw9 that we expect. Tempo still playing him extremely well though. I'm impressed. I expected good things out of Tempo today, but I'll be honest, I didn't think he's going to make it past Diaz round 1. And I didn't think he's going to play Rw9 this close either. Oh, look at the timing again. Tempo just waits for the challenge and then lobs the ball top bins. Look at this. Backs up Rw9 to the flip reset. Fakes an air roll shot. And instead of hitting the ball, just continues air rolling to set up a mid-air flick that Rw9 couldn't get near enough to. Yeah, apologies there for ads, guys. That is that's on me. I tried. Oh, I wasn't able to run ads before this match because one ran automatically and put ads on cooldown. And I didn't want to wait with this match start times. We were already a bit delayed, so we just had to start. Yeah, they were. I think we're good now though for the rest of the series. So yeah, apologies for that. That was my fault for not paying attention in the break. Dino Dro, thanks for the 18-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Tempo's back. Once again, he came back late in the last game. Or rather, no, he had a lead late in the last game that Rw9 came back from, where Tempo won it in OT. Tempo with another double tap. Rw9 reads this one perfectly. Great defense by the great defender. And he beats Tempo to the punch on the recovery as well. 14 seconds to go. Rw9 retakes the lead. Tempo just didn't quite have the boost to get up for that one. But his kickoffs have been good late in the last few games. Another one that's workable for Tempo. He's got options here. Decides to shoot it first time. And he slots it. 8 goals each. Well, Tempo could have slow played this. He could have played for the demo. He could have tried to just get the ball over Rw9's head and then go again. No, he just shoots it first time. He just backs himself to score with the tight angle and he gets it. 9 seconds to go now. Tempo. Can he win another kickoff? In fact, he will here. It's in his half, but Rw9 can't really stay on this. Has to back away and give this one to Tempo, who's got the catch on 0 seconds. Tempo for the win, and he puts it in. Unbelievable. Perfect control with the flicks in the Dominus, making it so hard for Rw9 to get anywhere near him on that play. Tempo on double match point. He's already sent Diaz to the lower bracket. Is he going to send Rw9 to the lower bracket as well? Rw9 has left the match. We might be seeing a car change out of him. I think he's a bit rattled by what's going on right now because last game, he was the player coming back. You know, he was losing for most of it. This game, though, he had a lead. He was in control. And then out of nowhere, Tempo comes back. And it's the flick game. His flicks have been disgusting. Absolutely disgusting today. Right, Rw9 is back in the match. Let's get into game 4. Elsewhere, Shadi has beaten Toxic in game 3. He leads 2-1 in their match. No result yet coming through for game 3 from Diaz Proposa. Mozzarella 2-1 up on Krabby. But can Tempo make the upper final? The player who wins this will have 2 shots at making Salt Mine 4 main event in Europe. Tempo qualifying would be the biggest upset in any Salt Mine qualifier yet, by a fair margin. Against the lineup that we have today, including Toxic, Diaz, Shadi, Rw9, I'll be the first to admit I was not putting Tempo in the mix to qualify top 2. Ahead of 2, well, you'd have to finish ahead of 3 of those players I just mentioned. Yeah, it's a deeper qual than people might realize. Some people are looking at this list of players in the qual today and thinking, this isn't, that impressive. These players are, sure, they're probably quite good, but surely they're not going to be a match for the big dogs. Well, think again. Because Tempo has already taken down one of the big dogs, one of the absolutely best players in the world right now. In fact, a player with a claim of being the best in the world right now in Diaz. And now he's taking down one of the all-time greats who still, at this moment, looks like one of the best in the world. Rw9's aerial game's been looking pretty good. He's been getting better and better as the series goes on. That was less like himself, though. Giving the ball away to Tempo, who has hit the post. It was a bit of an awkward conversion. But you'd expect Rw9, when he can get his aerial game going like he did in the last game, to be winning. And it just isn't the case. Tempo, again, outmaneuvers him, outlasts him in the midfield back and forth. And outplays him with a tidy flick to tie the game again. Tempo really testing Rw9 here. That was a double tap into air dribble that Rw9 barely reached. The boost spawning in a second here. Rw9 decides not to go back for it. Instead, crosses over to the other back corner instead. Long shot by Rw9. Just keeping Tempo honest. He knew that wasn't going to go in. Oh, Rw9 has mishit this completely. Had to dive back quickly. You can see the pressure on Rw9. He's not comfortable right now. Tempo has been so good at switching the pace on him. Whether it's his car or the ball, he is messing with Rw9's tempo, quite literally. Rw9 thought Tempo's going to back off. He doesn't. He plays the ball and then again slots it from the back corner. That's a great shot. It's all been about the changes of pace. It's all been about acceleration for our backwards cat wielding Dominus. This time the fake flick, and it's a good one. Fake flick, perfect catch, and then launches it over Rw9's head. Not many players play for the fake flick and then a real one anymore. Usually a fake flick is followed up by a low 50. Surely that's what Rw9 was expecting. Tempo with perfect control puts himself up by 2 at halftime. Rw9 with a brief open net. And it does in fact go in. Tempo tried to pinch it off the inside of his own post. And it went nowhere. That's a bit unlucky, to be honest. How did this go nowhere? That's so unfortunate. Rw9 back within 1. Tempo misses his wave dash. It's going to be a tie game. Or is it? Rw9 has completely beamed it. Well, I don't believe it. Rw9 had the most open net of the day. And now another one as well. Tempo has saved it. Rw9 trying to fake him out. Somehow Tempo survives. Rw9 could be in shambles here. After that open net miss and failing to convert the follow-up as well. Tempo has to watch out for the demo. Sees it coming. Tempo could go up 2 here. I mean, I believe in his dribbles right now. Pre-flip flick almost goes over Rw9. It sets up a boost grab. And now Tempo, the turnaround, nearly scores a wall shot. He's all over him. Rw9 in trouble. Boost spawns for him. He's going to get back in time. Tempo is really giving him so many headaches on the pitch right now. Confidently hits the ball to himself off his own near post. Ceiling pinch. Rebound for Tempo. 4-2. What a performance from the underdog. Rw9 couldn't keep up with him. This is one of the all-time big upsets that Tempo's pulling off right before our very eyes here. He's about to win 3 games straight against Rw9. Huge shot. He's up 5-2. So much confidence in his ground game, his aerial game, his power shots. I mean, every aspect of his game has been completely perfect today. Can he get to the finish line? He lost a 3-goal lead late in game 2. Came back to win in OT anyway, but he's not yet safe. He's in such a good position though. Ceiling recovery, ground double. That's going to be a giveaway of possession. But even on a 3-goal advantage, Tempo is still pulling out all the stops. The aggression is plain to see. The aggression with his mechanical creativity. The aggression with his challenges. Rw9 straight down the middle. The flick gets away from him. Now on the turn, he's able to slot to score his 3rd goal. That wasn't confident though, Rw9. Had to bail out of that flick because the ball went off the front of his car a bit too far. He did recover to score though. It's been a bit of a messy game from Rw9's perspective. Tempo almost up by 6 goals to 3. He's got Rw9 in a tough spot. Rw9 pre-flip to send the ball to the back corner. Tempo just plays it patiently. Now here he comes once again. Look at his slice and dice. Rw9, who reads him perfectly. That's a massive challenge. It's in Tempo's net. Huge read by Rw9. Tempo was trying to cross him over and then set up an angle for a hook shot. 36 seconds to go. Once again, Rw9 is starting to come back. He's able to get the back corner boost here. Actually decides he can't. Has he centered this? Yes, he has. Tempo can't get there though. Rw9 gets out of a tricky position but loses mid boost as a result. He's staying on the ball. Does not want to give the ball away to Tempo for free here. And Tempo gets the mid boost. That could be critical. Wall shot is good. Rw9 full committed to a mid boost that he lost the race to. He had his nose in front, but he wasn't aligned with the boost. Tempo boxed him off of it. And this is a disaster. Rw9 has not been winning kickoffs quickly enough to score goals in this matchup. But he needs one here. Goes for the big win on the inside. Tempo covers it. That might just be another one for Tempo, but he takes the ball back. This is so smart. He's letting the clock win the series for him. And now the ball goes in anyway. Tempo's done it. Rw9 calls GG's. He's sent to the lower bracket. And that means that only one of Rw9 or Diaz can qualify today. They're both in the lower bracket right now, and they've both been sent there by the same player. It's Tempo from Denmark, our hat-wielding Dominus. And he did it in style. Well played. And that kind of puts the Diaz series in perspective. Oh, wow. That's going to be a huge prediction payout. Only 17% of chat going with Tempo on this one. That is a massive, massive bean swing in the chat.